Good morning, traders. Happy Friday. I hope you've all had a fantastic week. This week was pretty slow for me. You'll have to excuse me if I sound congested. I got a little bit of leftovers from some kind of respiratory bug thing that's kind of been knocking me down this week. So not a super active week for me in the trading world, but I was able to grab a GJ trade last night. I have a couple other trades on that are swing trades. Um, some are red, some are green right now, but all within my risk tolerance and stop loss range. But let me get into this GJ trade here. This was a picture perfect trade from last week. I mean, the exact same setup. Everything was exactly the same. It was, and I've seen the market do similar things like this before, but this was down to the same day and the same time as last week, which was pretty amazing. I don't know if I've quite seen it that exact, but let's get into it. I'll put a link, up here in the corner, right up here to the trade from last week, which explains my thought process. Why I was looking to short up here and why I shorted where I did last week. This week was exactly the same, in basically the same location. You can see here, coming off the highs that it made, the impulses move. You can adjust this however you want. We had a 61.8 fib retracement right at some previous structure levels. Last week I talked about this box range consolidating down into this box range, had a quick spike fake out, or had a false breakout to the downside, spiked up, dipped its head into this previous consolidation box, and then just dumped. And this week was exactly the same time and the same day. Thursday it happened. Last week the false breakout was on 4/19, which was last Thursday, I believe. Let me double check here. Yeah, 4/19 last Thursday. False breakout, big bullish candle, breakout to the upside, triggering people long. And then it just dumped. This week, and look at the times. The false breakout to the downside, 1 a.m. in the morning on Thursday, 1 a.m. in the morning on Thursday. The big green candle was the 5 a.m. candle, same over here. And then the big rejection candle came in at 9, and then it just dumped from there. Same over here. Same day, same times this all happened. It was absolutely beautiful. I caught this short up here. I also dragged the fib from this point here just to see kind of where that lined up, and then, or let's see, yeah, from the top there is where I did it. We had a little kind of channel topper here that was forming, or broadening wedge pattern. Sorry, you can see it better on the 1 hour chart. Same type of situation, even over here we had kind of a little broadening wedge thing going on. This was the exact same trade that I took. Shorted right here. I'm still in it, but you can see, what, let me just clear all this stuff off right now. It's kind of getting messy. I like clean charts. You can see kind of what's going on here. What time frame am I on? I took some profit at the bottom of this little, if this is some kind of channel thing forming. I'll just do kind of a general. This is some kind of channel, back and forth. I do have kind of a demand zone down here that you know, looks kind of attractive. I could see a spike down and then a move back up. But, you know, GJ has broken, you know, if you just do extremes here, if you just do extreme points using the wicks, you know, we broke this. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see some further downside movement. You know, Mondays, so Fridays, I've typically seen, you know, a lot of people take, you know, big institutions or whatever, taking off their positions. So you'll oftentimes see something like this. A lot of people call it like a midweek reversal. I don't know if I quite buy into that, but I have noticed on Fridays, at least recently, that there's usually some kind of trend reversal. You know, at least shorter term trend reversal, you know. So all week GJ, you know, starting on Sunday was just in an uptrend, and then come Thursday, we have that last push up and then the dump on Friday, going into Friday. Whether that's, you know, big institutions going long all week and then short, you know, taking off their positions or whatever on Friday, who knows. But that is something that I have paid attention to and have kind of been keeping track of. And then, you know, oftentimes on Monday, you know, I've noticed the opposite's true, you know. Yeah, Friday, you know, it's back in buying territory. You know, if you're in an overall uptrend, which, you know, GJ is, you know, so Monday, I wouldn't be surprised, maybe see a quick spike down to this demand zone, pop back up, you know, but we have broken this, so, you know, I'm gonna be entertaining some, you know, shorts. And keep in mind, last week I went into a higher time frame analysis off the weekly chart, and you know, there was a 78.6 fib retracement up there, so I wouldn't be surprised to see kind of a little bit of deeper retracement, you know, in this here. Maybe, you know, I would say at least probably down to the 50, but you know, this is just my opinion. So we'll see what happens. This was, you know, a trade that I took this week, so I just hope I hope it helps out a little bit. We do have kind of, you know, this little trend line here. So keep that in mind. You know, for next week, I'm not saying it's going to dump, but you know, it may, because you know, first step is done. You know, we broke this counter, you know, this trend line here on the higher time frames, and if, you know, we get the daily close, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, maybe a pop back up consolidation, and then, you know, a further move down. Might even kind of extend all the way up here. Let me tighten this up a little bit. I don't typically do like, you know, and I don't know if we get somewhere down here, you know, there's some nice fib levels that line up nicely there. This is kind of an interesting situation here that I wouldn't, you know, be against looking for potential shorts. You know, if we can move up there, you know, say we bottom out, you know, we'll just call that our bottom there. Say we bottom out. And this is exactly what I do. You know, come up, find a shorter term top, you know, maybe get a 50% retracement, and then, you know, then we got these profit targets, you know, maybe do something like, you know, like this up, and then get a little retracement, maybe come back up into something like that, and then, you know, something like that, you know. And this is exactly what I do when I'm planning trades. You know, I'll show you the picture for this trade that you know, this was the plan that I had for this one. You can see this is exactly what I do. You know, I tell myself a story, and you know, I plan that trade out, if it starts, if it looks like it's starting to do what I have planned, then I plan my entry. So that's just kind of a trade recap, and also kind of a little idea on how I plan trades. Sorry, I'm getting really congested and whatnot. But so I'm gonna cut this short. If you have any questions, let me know. Be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm always looking to interact with other people. So let me know. Send me a message if I can help you.